Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. We're just going to get our guest on here. Thanks for joining us. Hi, everybody. Great to see everybody joined us today. We're just getting our guest on. Excited to bring you this premiere episode. All right, working through some technical things here. Hi, everybody. All right. We are just trying to get our guest in here today, but this is our premiere episode of our new Instagram Live, Ask the Insider. The insiders are trying to come in and we're working on it. There we go. Hey, we did it.
Yay! Hello, hello. So good to see you.
Good to see you too. We made it.
Hallelujah. So happy to be here. We had a fright, right? It matches the Halloween theme. Gave us a little bit of a scare.
You are right on there.
Yes. Welcome. Hi, everybody. So glad to see you. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for commenting.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. So, had a little technical glitches there. I feel like we are in the world of security, and sometimes security is too tight, and we needed to get in. So thank you, everybody. I see we got some more people joining here. Great to see the hearts. Thank you so much. This is our premiere episode for our new Instagram, Ask the Insider. And today we're going inside the Teal Pumpkin Project. I'm your host, otherwise known as the Insider, Becky Rosenberger. I am a practicing physician assistant for over 20 years now. And for the majority of that time, I've actually practiced in allergy and immunology. I'm also the Associate Director of Clinical Affairs and Education at Thermo Fisher Scientific, who brings you Allergy Insider. So Allergy Insider is in partnership with FAIR, Food Allergy Research and Education Organization. And we're here today with Megan Lavin. And you may know Megan from her blog, Allergy Awesomeness. Thanks, Megan. But Megan's also a published cookbook author, which I need to try out some of those recipes, Megan, and a food allergy advocate. So with that, Megan, why don't you give us a quick introduction and tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Thanks, Becky. So glad to be here. And I want to say thank you to you because we need good physicians like yourself. It's so nice to have people who are invested in the community, are there for us when we have those medical questions and those medical needs. As she mentioned, my name is Megan, and my two oldest boys both have multiple food allergies. They are also on that atopic march. They've got asthma, they've had eczema. My oldest actually has eosinophilic esophagitis, which is a rare allergic condition. So we are quite the allergy family, juggling lots of allergies. And when it began, I remember just being like, how do I feed him? Like, kids have to eat 3 meals a day plus snacks, and just wanting a place where there could be a community, a place where you wouldn't feel alone, and a place where I could share the things that were working in my kitchen, because it just seemed like such a waste if we actually found a recipe that was safe and actually delicious to keep it to ourselves. And so it's been this lovely journey of, as I've shared, I've been able to meet wonderful allergy parents and work with incredible organizations like you and FAIR. And so it's just my pleasure to be here, especially to talk about such a fun topic like the Teal Pumpkin Project.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And the Teal Pumpkin Project is really a simple way to make trick-or-treating safe and inclusive for all kids and adults. Some of us still like to go trick-or-treating, of course, or doing it along with our kids. And it really is a place for those 1 in 13 kids that have food allergies, food intolerances, or other conditions. By having houses put a teal pumpkin out and really announcing that they are a safe place to go trick-or-treating by offering something besides food treats on trick-or-treating, and that really is going to help us make Halloween a great time to remember and do it in a good way. So how did you initially find out about the Teal Pumpkin Project?
Well, I tell you what, it got started at just the perfect time because I was a new mom with a food allergy child, and Halloween seemed really intimidating. And I thought, how are we going to do this? Because he actually had even more food allergies. He's thankfully grown out of a few. And, you know, it was perfect timing. And thank goodness there was that mom in Tennessee. And I just think what genius, what insight she had to make it so inclusive. And so it was just getting rolling at the same time. And I remember just relief washing over me, being like, thank you. There is something I can tap into. You know, as this isolated allergy parent, I was then living in Utah and feeling like there are other moms dealing with this. And look at the power of one single mom. Like, it gave me such inspiration and being like, okay, she did this for her allergy kid. Like, maybe I can do something for my allergy kids. And I honestly give it a lot of credit as to like the launching point it kind of took, because I was thinking of starting my blog, and I actually, my background, my degree is in broadcast, so I'm kind of a broadcast nerd. And I remember thinking, people need to know about this. So I contacted the stations in Salt Lake City, and because if you don't know, like, the news loves timely pieces. Like, they want something that's happening right here, right now. And I just sent them an email, like literally from my personal email, being like, I'm a local allergy mom, and you need to know about the Teal Pumpkin Project, and I would love to come on and talk about it. And I couldn't believe they got back to me, and I went on multiple like morning talk shows, and I just thought, if that mom can do it, I can do it. And it gave me so much courage. And then I felt so good knowing that I had helped spread awareness, and I had helped maybe people who watch the news who didn't know about it learn about it. And so I really think there's so many ways you can look at yourself and think, what is my strength? What is something I'm good at? Am I good at talking to people? Am I good at pitching television? That's not everyone, but am I good at talking to my neighbors? Am I good at posting flyers? Like, there's so many ways that we can each take courage from this and make our own individual neighborhoods and communities safer this Halloween. And that's just beautiful.
That's fantastic. I know that I've seen over the time that I've been in practice how Teal Pumpkin Project has really grown. And I think this year we are somewhere around almost 6,000 houses that are registered as Teal Pumpkin Project houses. There's even a map that you can join. So it's become a lot easier to really help identify where can we go and where is that safe space for trick-or-treating. So I have to ask, do you have any memorable Halloweens from years past, good or maybe some challenges that you've encountered?
Yeah, well, I mean, we always wish there was some more Teal Pumpkins out than there are. But like you said, like Allergy Insider and Fair do such a great job getting the word out. Even just sharing in your own community, there's so many great graphics that you can share on your social media. So as we walk the neighborhood, we just, get that excitement when we see a Teal Pumpkin out. I think really the first one was the most memorable. My boys were still little, and I bought teal paint, and we painted, and we got messy, and it was just a really fun craft night. And honestly, thank goodness there really haven't been any negative experiences, but we do try and be extra thankful and make a big deal out of people who do teal pumpkins. Thank you so much. We both have food allergies. We're so grateful you set something out, because I think, if we really show appreciation and let people know that it's being used, that they're more likely to do it the following year.
Absolutely. What are some of your favorite things to put out or for the kids to get that are safe treats?
Yeah. So, it's funny because everyone says, well, what's a safe treat, right? What's a safe treat? And you just never know. There are people who, you know, can't even do food dyes because people will say, well, what about suckers? What about this? It's mostly sugar. But really the safest option is no treats. I don't love, it seems like we get a lot of pencils. I think we're good on our pencil stash for the following years. My kids really like toys. So I asked my kids, knowing we were doing this, and my boys said bouncy balls. That have been some of their favorites. My daughter loves like slinkies. They like sometimes little stamps, little, you know, they can put on their hands or paper. Really something that they can play with. And the nice thing is about the non-food treats is candy, you enjoy it for a few seconds and it's gone, but treats last for weeks after. So it's really a win-win.
Fantastic. Yeah, I know sometimes my patients have asked me, what are some alternatives, or what if we do get treats? And I always say, if you can swap them out, that's a great way to go as well. What can you set up almost in your treat aisle at home? And if you need to swap some of them out, you know what your kids really like or enjoy. If there's not as many of the Teal pumpkin houses as you would like in your neighborhood or in the surrounding areas, and then you can have them go trick-or-treating in their own yard, in their own house, and they can find something that's safe as well. That's fantastic. I think you mentioned a little bit about incorporating some arts and crafts projects into Teal Pumpkin. I know I did that one year as well. And now we even see there's lights out for Halloween, and you could go Teal Halloween lights, which is always a fun thing. Any other arts and crafts that you like to do with your kids around this time of year?
Yeah, I mean, thank goodness for Pinterest, right? There's so many good options. We like to do Frankenstein Rice Krispies or chocolate bat sugar cookies. But what's nice is even just simple. I think sometimes we think it has to be so fancy or complicated, but like on FAIR website, foodallergy.org, they have like cute coloring pages you can print out that showcase the Teal Pumpkin project. For the last few years, I've thrown like just a little Halloween party for my friends and a couple kids. I mean, there's like pin the tail on the black cat, which is a non-food thing, relay races. I mean, it really, you can bring back some of those classics from when we were little kids, and they're still just as fun as ever.
That's super helpful. I'm actually hosting a little get together after our local Halloween parade this coming weekend. So to be able to offer those fun games, treats, trinkets, always super helpful. And you mentioned about some of the DIY. I know that FAIR has some downloadable DIY coloring kits. You can color your own Teal pumpkin and put those out. And we're going to drop that in the chat as well so that you can go right to the link and find your own DIY. You don't even have to stop at Pinterest. So that's fantastic. Great. I see a comment on there as well, looking on FAIR and Allergy Insider. Any other tips or tricks that you like, some resources that you find helpful, Megan?
Well, I think there is such power in our food allergy community. I love, you know, either following hashtags like food allergy mom or food allergy friendly, and the beautiful world of social media where it's sharing and seeing ideas like, oh, that Teal pumpkin is painted extra cute. I love like the swirls they put on it. Or I remember I found out that like Michael's and other craft stores were starting to sell like plastic Teal pumpkins, so that way we didn't have to paint them if we were busy that year. Being like, I didn't know that because I'm not crafty, so I don't go to craft stores very often. And so there's such a great collective mind of other food allergy moms that are in that same boat. I'm in some Facebook groups. I try to share on my own page ideas that we see. So really, sometimes you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can just kind of see what other people are doing and tweak it to work for our individual families.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I have a favorite as well. I know on a couple favorites. I know on the FAIR website, they have the allergy alerts and ingredient notices where you can put in your email and really choose what are the allergens that you may be faced with. And then if there's something that happens and an allergen alert that comes out from the company, or if there's a relabeling, then you get notified. I'll never forget when I had the patient come into my office and said, I always buy this product. Mm-hmm. We know it's our go-to. The labeling is the same, but because they were entered into that email notification and those allergy alerts. They had just come home from the grocery store, same product, checked their email and found out that it was now relabeled, and they just weren't in the habit of reading each time those labels. So I think that's a fantastic resource. And yeah, Allergy Insider has allergen fact sheets, because it can be really hard to know what are the names that you're looking for on those allergy labels. If you have a specific food allergy, what are the other terms that you may need to look for on those labeled products?
For sure. I mean, there's only like, what, 5,000 different, versions of milk. So, I mean, I've been an allergy mom forever, and I still look at those fact sheets, especially on a busy night with Halloween where there's so many labels. When we get home and we dump out, any treats that they do get to see if there are any safe ones, I have my laptop open, and I am going. And my kids know I just have to go through it all to double check, because sometimes Halloween or specialty items are made in different facilities, or they're a slightly different recipe. So resources like Allergy Insider and Fair are invaluable, because I can't, there's, soccer practices and safe food and like a million things in my mind. I can't always memorize all those synonyms. So very helpful.
So I have to ask, if you encounter something that doesn't have a label on it,
that's a no-go.
That's a no-go.
That's a big fat no. Yeah. And like you said, we are big fans. We call it our treat box. And I make sure to ask my kids, is there anything you want? Some people do money if you want to keep it, completely non-food versus swapping out for a safe treat. And just say, like, what would you like? So that way they feel excited to swap it in, instead of them feeling like it's a loss and they're losing candy. They still feel like, oh, I'm getting this. You can even do things like you can get extra screen time, or, 10 pieces of candy is one less chore this week, or, anything that you feel like would motivate your kid, I feel like helps that swapping out go a little bit smoother.
Absolutely. And I'm always a fan of the donating back any candy that you can't use, right? Keep it out of the landfill, and there's certainly other places that it can be utilized. So lots of opportunities to help donate back as well. That's fantastic. Any other, personal wins, resources, tips, tricks that we haven't talked about today?
I think really just making a network of safety for yourself is really helpful. And, sometimes you got to get out of your comfort zone or do some legwork. But I know we live in a place, and not everyone lives by family, but it's probably like 20 minutes in between each one. But we make that part of our trick-or-treating route and start a little bit early, because I know I can trust my family members. They're going to ask, what can we have? What would they like? So it's really personalized, and it's really exciting for them to go there. I remember one time we went to a trunk or treat, and I had a really good friend. It still like makes me emotional to think about it. And she had gone ahead of time and put Skittles. Skittles were safe at the time. She didn't know about the non-food treat just yet. And she had gone and planted a Skittles in every single person's trunk. So when my kid went, he had something safe. I've heard of parents going and knocking on neighbors' doors, and instead of asking them to please go buy this, they were like, can you hand this when my kid comes? He'll be in the lion costume, and I'll be there waving. So there's a lot on our shoulders as allergy parents, and that is extra legwork, but boy, is it worth it when you see their smiles and that they're having a good childhood memory.
Yeah, that network is so important. It's you build your army of food allergy advocates, and you can get them in on the action. I think that's why I really liked the kits for the Teal Pumpkin Project, right? You get some extra window clings or yard signs that you can put out, and then it's really nice to be able to ask your friends and family to put those out and help not only you, but other families as well.
And it's such a talking point, right? Like someone might walk by and say, oh, what is that sign in your window? It's just such a great way to bring it up in natural conversation and kind of advertise.
Absolutely. So some of the things that our audience can do is go and register your house and be that neighborhood advocate, right? Download the DIY resources for Teal Pumpkin Project. We talked a lot about what are some of the fun things that each house can have, or how you can involve your army of food allergy advocates and friends and family to make it really a safe Halloween. And we know that especially over the past year and a half, right? Kids have not had a completely normal Halloween. You layer in some of the food allergy aspects of this, and it's just an added challenge. So I'm really excited that I think we can have a good, safe Halloween this year and really show that inclusiveness for all of the parents, the kids, families that are out there.
For sure, for sure. Let's see if we can get a couple more hundred signed up. I would love to see the number go up even higher and make sure your name is added to that map, because you never know, there might be like Susie down the street that you haven't met yet that her kid has a food allergy. So everyone on the map just helps it grow for sure.
Yeah, and I should mention, we may have some international audience members here, right? It's not just in the US. The Teal Pumpkin Project is a global endeavor. And so wherever you may be, you can find some of those neighbors on the neighborhood map and look for those teal pumpkins. Yeah. Fantastic. We have covered a lot of information here. I was going to just look and see if we had any questions that had popped up in our chat here. I know we've posted a lot of resources. Some of our favorites, yours and mine, Megan, for sure.
Oh, while you're looking for that, I was going to mention, like my neighborhood has a Facebook group page, you know, just so we can share alerts or things that are going on in the neighborhood. So that's another good place to do an ask. Hey, if anyone's planning on being home Halloween night, would you mind participating? I mean, there's just so many ways you can reach out to people and share the message, and we can all be ambassadors.
You got a shout out for your Frankenstein Rice Krispies, Megan. So I'm going to have to put that on my list for sure to save those.
Someone says Jordan is on the map. Way to go, Jordan.
And yeah, it looks like somebody actually used some gift bags and put a teal pumpkin on the back of the gift bags. That's a great idea as well. Somebody else asked about where to find that map for the teal pumpkin, so we'll make sure to post that. I think it's been posted in the chat there. And then also, if you click on the link in our bio, you can find all of those links and download the DIY crafts, arts and crafts kits, as well as on Allergy Insider, the allergen fact sheets. So really great information. Great info about the Teal Pumpkin Project for sure. And we would ask everybody to follow along on @Allergy Insider and @Food Allergy to learn more about what initiatives are happening and certainly what is going to be coming up in the future. We are heading into lots of food related activities towards the end of the year for sure. So Halloween is just that kickoff, but really excited to make it a safe, happy and inclusive Halloween for everybody out there. Yeah. Anything else that you want to make sure that we touch on, Megan, that we haven't?
Yeah, maybe just two things. I want to give a shout out. I just saw someone in the comments saying she's giving out dollar bills for teal pumpkins. Send your address. That would be the most exciting thing as a kid. She was saying, remember as a kid, you used to like want to find the house with the full-size candy bars? She wins. She wins. That's awesome. And then just as a reminder, make sure you take your auto injectors with you, whatever brand you have, because even though my husband and I say, don't eat, if you do get candy, don't eat it till we get home and we can check labels. That's why non-food treats are so great, but you just never know. Kids sometimes get excited, see the colorful wrappers. Just make sure that you're prepared. We want everyone to be very safe this Halloween and sending out lots of hugs and light, and you go allergy parents, we got this.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Megan. It's really been great having you on today, and I can't wait for our next episode of Ask the Insider next month. So we hope everybody tunes in for that. And thanks for joining us today. It was fantastic.
Thanks, Becky. You're great. Take care.
You too.